with Tracy in LA. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my podcast, Dance Journey. Today we have a very special guest, Paul Sivertsen.
Hello.
I'm so excited to have Paul because I was just in his piece for LA Unbound, and it was so fun, and we're going to talk about that. But first, let's talk about how we met.
Sure.
How do you think that we met?
Oh, gosh. Sometimes I hate this question because I meet a lot of people. I don't mean to sound like this, but I'm just always trying to do stuff. And especially in the dance world, there's always, dare I say, like 300 times more girls than guys. So I meet a lot of different ones. And there's a lot of different looks you guys are doing for these performances or rehearsals or hair up, hair down, no makeup. I don't even know. So unless you have a really, really bold crazy haircut or something. Anyway, I would say we met because you were in my dance. I mean, that's my biggest memory. Is that did we meet before that? Please tell me. I'm curious now.
I feel like I just got you really stressed out.
It happens.
I mean, we mostly met because I was in his dance. I mean, do you actually remember? Did you actually remember seeing me at the audition, or was it I was just kind of put in your piece?
You know what? Of course, I remember. I don't know if it's what your energy, spirit, just your height maybe stands out too. By the way, that class we just took, everyone was pretty short too. I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so tall. Anyway, not that I'm short, but my friend's taller than me. My friend Dina, who always takes me. Whatever. Let me think. What was the question?
The question was, did you actually?
Yes.
Because, there's 100 people at those auditions.
No, I know.
wouldn't be surprised if you were like, I didn't really know who you were, but you ended up in my piece.
I don't want to, there's so many LA Unbound secrets, of course.
Okay.
But I want to say, we get a list of who might be interested in our piece. So that helps. Yeah. And when they put that down when I get that sheet and it says who wants to be in it, then you stand out immediately, obviously, because I need to find you and look for you and be inspired. And it's always so fun and crazy and amazing and etc.
I can't even imagine being a choreographer and having to find all the people that put my piece down in the midst of 100 people. It just sounds stressful. So that was not I wasn't trying to make you feel bad if you didn't remember me.
No.
But okay, actually when I first met you is because I used to always go see LA Unbound to see my friend Haley Royal.
Oh, I love
and
her.
She really liked you, and she was in your piece before. Was she in one of your pieces or more than one?
She was in my very, let's say, second piece, and I think my third, at multiples. Sometimes, she's so cool for that, and I love, that's so crazy that you knew her, because it just proves it's such a small world over and over. So love Haley, loved her in my pieces.
Yeah, and she would always talk to all her friends after the show, and then I would be with her because I came to see her.
Oh my God.
So I think one time she was just chatting with you, and she was like, "This is my friend Tracy," and then you were like, I don't really remember, but I think you were like, "Oh, are you going to do Unbound?" or something like that. And I was like,
I'm so amazing.
"Oh, I'm just a beginner dancer." And you were like, "Oh, I'm still a beginner dancer," or something like you said.
I feel that way still. Isn't that weird? Yeah. It's just, I'll forever be a beginner dancer.
That's what you said.
Funny.
You were, because you'd been dancing for years and years, but you were like, I keep considering myself a beginner dancer.
Yeah.
And I just remembered that moment. But then that was really all I remember. But then many years passed. And then, the first time we met, it was just maybe at the first rehearsal for our piece.
She took a break, and I don't know, COVID and whatever. I remember seeing her piece. She was such a great choreographer, too.
Yeah.
I was hoping to do her piece someday or whatever. I don't know, but it was nice to see you. That connection after so many years, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's how we met. Let's talk about the class we just took, and then we can talk about LA Unbound a little bit more.
Sounds good. Yeah.
But so we just took Amy Hessler's class at the Pickle Factory in Frogtown. That's just the funniest name of a studio to me. But it was Paul's suggestion because you've been taking her class for a bit, or you've taken it a few times.
Let's see, I think that was only my third class with her, actually, but I loved it. I don't even know. Yeah, it's a cool vibe at this studio. There's some cool choreographers, and we can talk about her choreo. We can talk about how funny or fun she is. So I thought it was a good suggestion. Yeah.
Yeah, it was so... Okay, she's kind of a comedian, sort of, right?
I mean,
I don't know
no
her.
wonder I love her. I feel that way about myself, so I'm trying to it's funny, all the different styles of choreo and choreographing and teaching and performing. It's just all of something.
Yeah. Her Instagram is really funny, and she makes a lot of funny videos. And I was like, I bet her class is going to be very funny. So I was excited about it. And then Paul had prepared me and said, just so you know, it's going to be, because it was like a round 2. And he's like, just so you know, it's going to be like Laker girl vibes.
You heard all those basketball analogies.
Like, come and ride that train. And I was like, yeah, okay, let's go.
It was full 90s.
And then we did across the floor to like, I like to move it, which was amazing because I have not heard that song in a million years, and it made me so happy. And then we did another across the floor to Space Jam, and I was
really
like,
stuck on theme.
What is happening? I'm so excited to be here today.
I'm glad you liked it.
That was really fun. And then somehow we started talking about Michael Jordan, and like Paul was in like Bulls colors, and so was Amy. And so she's like, well, today we'll just be like, we're Chicago Bulls instead of like LA. And I was like, perfect, because I grew up in Chicago, and that was Michael Jordan was like our guy. And literally the whole class, she just kept referencing Michael Jordan and being like, okay. She was like acting like we were the reason why, like we dancers were the reason why the score was a certain thing. And so she'd be like, guys, it's 0-50 and we're down. We need to like bring it. And she's like, oh, and this just in, Michael Jordan is going to be dancing with us. And then somebody was like, that's why we're down 0-50, because he's dancing instead of playing basketball.
Those analogies were so crazy. Like,
out of control.
It's really funny. I don't know. Everyone has their own style, maybe, because I don't know what her background is, but since I have a theatrical background, I think I appreciate some, what's it called, motive in a dance, or just energy, or when she reminded us to smile, that helped and made me distracted in a different way. But anyway, there's so many ways to get you there, because that choreo was fast.
Okay, this is what I was expecting it to probably be funny, and it was funnier than I even expected. And I had so much fun, and I loved the class. It was harder than I expected. I was like, because she doesn't have a lot of dances posted on her Instagram, so I wasn't able to kind of like prepare mentally for what her style was. And partly it was just like I'm not as used to that style, because it wasn't like classical jazz. It was just like, it was a lot of like hip thrusts, which like I am not good at that.
She's very high energy. I unfortunately haven't, I'm just new to her and new to taking classes, honestly. We can talk about that later. But yeah, the one other time I did her class was in January, and she did a Bruce Springsteen choreo, and that was, I don't know. I'm sure there's some jumping. I don't even know. I only know because I Venmo'd her and it said something about Bruce Springsteen or something. I was like, wow.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It was, she taught kind of fast. She was a good teacher, but it was like, it was definitely a push. Like, I know if I kept coming, I would probably grow a lot in just like picking up choreo, because it was just like a lot of quick movements with a lot of hip thrusting, but a lot of different kinds of arms and fast, like jump together, jump out. It like definitely had like a cheerleading-ish vibe, but she told me, and Paul told me, that she does like, obviously she does different styles like all the time. So anyway, that was just today's. It was very fun. I enjoyed it. Do I wish I could have had like run it like 8 more times before we shot the video? Like, yes, but like that's okay.
Scared to watch the video. I'm always scared to watch the video, but you know what? I've learned that it's always worse in your head than the video shows, and there's so many ways to edit a video for Instagram.
You haven't taken enough classes, because it's not always worse in your head than the video. Sometimes the video is worse than it was in your head.
Oh no. I think I'm just sadly so self-negative that it's always
better than what
isn't that
you
crazy?
always think so low.
I've had to learn that about myself.
Okay,
so.
then that makes
But I
sense
know what
then.
you mean. It's good to not be delusional either.
I'm like nailed it, and then I watch the video and I'm like, oh no, I didn't. But that's okay.
And that's another thing that upsets me. Like sometimes in person is just, you can't compare a video. I don't care what angle or what lighting.
That's true.
So it's
like
crazy.
a sunset. If you get a picture of it, you're like, it's really not.
Like I watched the video from our LA Unbound performance.
Yeah, it's not as good as in person.
I just, maybe even more so because I'm such musically, theatery, vibey, official terms of that, by the way. But it's still fantastic. So I'm so glad that we got to do and I got to meet you and do this.
Yeah.
This is so exciting.
I wanted to
is.
ask Paul a while ago to be on the podcast, but we were Paul was in like a bunch of pieces with Ellie Unbound and choreographing his own piece, and we were all really busy. So I was like, okay,
there's a lot of ands.
I was like, as soon as it's over, I'm going to ask him. But then I was like, okay, I should give it like a couple days so that I know.
That's so sweet.
He should rest for 2 days, and then I'm going to ask him.
Thank you.
But, wait, okay, let's talk about Ellie Unbound. So that was the class. I don't know if there's more to say about the class. It was really fun. Definitely check it out. Fun. It's 10:30 a.m. if you're free during the day on Tuesdays. $18. Was it an hour and a half?
I don't either. I think it might be.
I think it was an hour and a half.
Maybe it's an hour and 15. Like a good amount. Yeah, it seems. I bet you it's an hour and a half.
And I'm probably gonna post that video. That was pretty funny. The last video of us like getting into a choo-choo train was like pretty fun.
See, wasn't that so fun? Like, how could you not be? Yeah,
it was very fun.
She's wild for that.
Okay, but Ellie Unbound. Let's talk about that. That was my first time ever being in Ellie Unbound.
Wow.
And Paul, do you know how many times it's been?
Dude, I think my first show was either winter 2013 or 2014. Wow. So it's been over 10 years, and I've only missed like a show or two. So I've done it every year since then.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's 2 shows a year.
Almost 2 times a year every year.
Yeah,
maybe
so
1 or 2.
Does that mean at least 20 shows?
Wow.
I'm pretty sure.
How many pieces have you choreographed?
Oh, man. Whenever I can, almost every year. I can't.
Wow. But your first year, did you?
My first show was, they were talking about Nutcracker, and Nutcracker's just a dancer's favorite, especially a child dancer's favorite, apparently. No, I don't know. They did a Nutcracker Unbound that winter, and the next show was not Nutcracker, and they were like, who wants to choreograph? I'm like, me. Like, I hadn't choreographed since college, so it was so exciting to do that. I really like choreographing.
Oh, okay, that's so cool. Okay, I'm gonna ask you more questions about that in a minute, but
yeah, great.
I want to talk specifically about Jurassic Creep, our dinosaur piece. Okay. I really wanted to be in contemporary pieces for the show. Like, that's what I was planning on, whatever.
Great.
I wanted to see everybody's. And
absolutely.
Of course, I looked at so Ellie Unbound gives out the schedule ahead of time of when different choreographers are going to rehearse their pieces. So, of course, you have to, look at that first. And unfortunately, my schedule actually was really crazy. So I wasn't available that many days. So I had put little stars next to ones that looked like I was really excited about them and they fit in my schedule. And then I put medium marks by oh, that fits in my schedule. We'll see what the piece looks like.
Yeah.
Yours was a medium mark. No offense, but
oh, that's
I was just okay. I was just oh, I knew about you. And so I was I know that he does crazy pieces that are fun because I've seen them before.
Yes,
and so I've liked them. But I didn't know. I guess I was oh, I think that time fits in my schedule, so let's see what his piece is. But as soon as you came out with your dinosaur mask and your claws and you were dancing to TLC Creep, I was check. I'm definitely putting that one down.
I knew the people who would get it would get it.
I was that.
And I knew there would be some that wouldn't. I'm sure of it. I don't know if they'd tell me to my face, but I hope they. I don't know.
I was that. I'm I don't know what this is, but this is really funny. I was just entertained even just by your little tiny portion that you showed us.
Thank you.
I was under the impression everyone in your piece would be a dinosaur. So it was funny later when you ended up asking oh, there's going to be some dinosaurs who. Tell me if you have a preference. I was oh.
I'm really cool like that.
I was pretty sure that I was going to be a dinosaur, but I guess maybe I'll be a person. And then I was I don't know. Then I felt stressed out.
You are a perfect dinosaur. So I'm always stressed out. I'm always trying to please all the dancers in my dance. I'm thank you so much for being a part of this. And I've learned through this company where just the things happen and things can go awry. So I just don't want to have a full vision until I know my cast and know what they want. I don't want them to have a bad experience. I want it to be the best it can be. And that's why I want to use everyone's skills and everyone's preferences. And that's just how I choreograph. And I think that's what makes some of my pieces pretty good because I've learned to not have too much dedicated. That's why I did that raptor mask thing. I was just they need to know what's up. I can't just I don't know.
Surprise them with that later.
I'd be okay, yeah. So actually, you're gonna wear a dinosaur mask and claws and tail and whatever else.
What did I sign up for? No, I mean, God. Yeah, you did a great job because I knew what I was signing up for. I thought we were all gonna be wearing masks anyways. Did I know how hard it was gonna be to see or breathe in that mask? No, but that's
Thank
okay.
You for committing.
It was worth it though.
It was so worth it. The cheers from the crowd in that video. I'm just I knew they would love these raptors.
It was so fun. I liked being. I'm glad I got to be a dinosaur. I told Paul whatever he wants, but I'm kind of leaning toward dinosaur, but whatever he wants. I just like to fulfill the choreographer's vision. But I loved being a dinosaur.
Totally.
It was 4 of us. That was really fun. Everyone who played the characters, which were like Jurassic Park characters, which was sort of like a challenge. I'm like kind of glad I don't have to play a Jurassic Park character because literally like I just didn't. Even though I watched it recently because we were doing this, and I still couldn't remember like names of people or like who everybody was. But so that was probably worked out for the best that I could just be a dinosaur.
You were great. You all were great.
It was very
perfect.
fun. It was fun to watch your choreography. I mean, I obviously don't. Great. Well, what is your choreographic process like at home? Like how do you like end up? How do you do it?
You know, I mean, I feel like I am always working towards the performance day and to please the audience, because otherwise, what else is it for? I'd love to please my peers as well, but there's so many different styles that we're all doing our own thing. So my process at home, I definitely want to create a story. I want there to be moments, and I just, especially for a musical piece like this or whatever you want to call it, yeah, I wanted it to be really specific, and if I'm paying an homage to this like this, I really wanted it to do it justice. There's huge fans of this like me toward it, so I just wanted to include as many moments as I could and just get everybody like right so that nothing was too distracting from this epic homage and story and all these things.
To
you know what
Jurassic
I mean?
Park.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Was it an homage to Jurassic Park or to TLC?
Ooh,
or to
Jurassic
both?
Park and Jurassic World, and a little nod to TLC. Hello, it's to their song. Like
Yeah.
I've done this before where I cross music with media or movies and stuff. So I'm just trying to, I don't know, make it my own experience twist, but still hopefully honoring everything that came before it to even make it possible. So yeah, I hope I did a good job. I used some of my other dancers to help me get it there, because honestly, I'm not some star hip-hop choreographer or anything like this. I don't know. It always just comes together and how it needs to be. So I always appreciate a collaborative experience if I can help it, because, you know, I want it to be the best it can be, and I'll do as much as I can, hopefully.
Yeah, I thought it came together really well. Like, I mean, I don't have a lot of experience performing dance, so I didn't really know what to expect with the different rehearsals I was going to, but...
Ooh, yeah.
And, yeah, like... It in the beginning it was because I'm just so used to class. Like, you don't take like tons of class. I take tons of class.
Yeah.
But I have performed very little. So coming to rehearsal was different for me. I was like, oh, it felt chaotic at first. Like, I don't actually think it was. It was just that for me, I'm used to class, so it's like, oh, okay, he's kind of just giving people this part really fast, and then he's kind of like giving us this part, but then people are also kind of having their own ideas, and you are very good at like collaborating, kind of like directing it, but still like pulling out what people's ideas are. And I'm not used to all of that, so I was just like, okay, I'm here, I'm present for this, I hope this works out. Like, obviously you've done so many pieces and they have all worked out, you know, but like I just have never been a part of it, so it was kind of interesting. But
you were such a trooper.
At the end of the day,
I can't imagine.
It really like came together so well, and I mean, I did trust that it would, because I've seen your pieces, so I know I'm like, I know he does this all the time. I just
Apparently,
don't know. I just don't know
it always feels like
how to do it.
Huge struggle every time, honestly, but it really does, because I've done this a couple times. I want to tell you, this time was specifically even more so, maybe the most musical theater of all.
Yeah.
So it definitely wasn't, hello, get here in time, warm up, here's some technique. We're not doing any, like, you just morph over time of what each project needs, you know? So this one, every choreographer has their own style or whatever, but it's definitely, it felt like a musical like rehearsal, like, oh, here's the blocking and here's the characters, and like, how can we make this moment happen? And it's just a collab. Like, I don't even know, like, figuring it out. That's how I grew up with theater and college and stuff, whatever. But like, so it's definitely not warm up, do the choreo, here's 5, 6, 7, 8, and then cool down. And I don't know, I try to incorporate that, but that's a a lot for 1 hour, and maybe I should have longer rehearsals.
No.
We'll see.
I think you did great. It was interesting. I think it was good for me, because I do come from more, my performance experience is acting.
Wow.
It's been a while.
Great.
It's been a while, but when I used to perform on stage, it was always acting. And there was some dance sometimes, but I'd never been in like a dance, just a dance piece.
Wow.
Well, once right before for Easter, but besides that,
love that.
So, but that was what was cool. Was like, it reminded me of that, because it was like, okay, then all the dinosaurs moved to this area, then we moved to stage right. So it was like very similar to what the blocking I used to have to memorize in acting, except I had to just count to 8 for 4 minutes.
Yeah, it helps.
I literally
know.
just like even through the performance, I was just still like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Thank you.
All
Some people don't.
All I'm doing is counting to 8 over and over again for 4 minutes because I'm like, okay, this 8 we're moving over here, this 8 we're over here, and so there were some parts that were more dancey, but a lot of it was just remembering where to go on the stage in those 8 counts, and also in a mask where it was pretty hard to see. And me and Paul were talking at the show like experience. About how like, the audience doesn't know like how hard that is.
I know, they never know.
So cuz like I could see out my peripherals on the sides, but there was a big piece in the middle, so I couldn't actually walk forward and see forward. If I wanted to see forward, I had to go like this. I'm
glad you're giving the detailed account because, unless you know, I only did that at the very beginning because I became a human for this. And then, if that sounds so crazy to say. But yeah.
But yeah, it was totally worth it. But it was just like, it was a different type of, like, the 2 pieces I were both very challenging, but in a very different ways. So, but it was so worth it. It was so fun. We got so much good feedback, and it really is different seeing it in person. Like, it is cool to have the videos. I'm excited to, like, rewatch all of them, but like seeing, because we got to watch the other pieces that we weren't in, like during the tech rehearsal and everything, the dances look so good, and I just am so impressed with every single piece. I don't think there was one piece that I was like, oh, well, this one's a dud. Like every piece was like amazing, and then you see the videos and they're cool, but it's not the same. So if you have a chance to go to an LA Unbound show, and I also know because I'd been to like 8 of them before I was in one, so like I did go because of Haley, but there was a couple times I went when Haley didn't do it.
Wow.
And I didn't have any friend. I just went because I would invite people.
Absolutely.
It's just a really good show. And family and friends
deep down you were going to come through. I'm so glad you got to be a part of it.
Yeah. So like that was really, I'm trying to think. Oh, the other thing, if you're ever in Paul's piece for LA Unbound, because I'm sure he's going to do a million more.
I hope so.
His emails are so funny. Okay, they're so funny. Like I'm a writer, so like I appreciate like humorous writing.
Yeah, I'll take the time.
And I had to hold myself back from like responding and being like, oh my gosh, you just made me crack up for like 5 minutes. Because literally I
don't hold back, so.
All the dinosaur references in like every email that just seemed like they must have just flowed out of your head because they're like long emails.
Hey,
but they were
never.
good. They're good emails, but they're long. And like I love a good long email. But yeah, just so many dinosaur references. I remember the very first rehearsal, there was like a girl that was supposed to be in the piece, but she ended up dropping out or just not doing it or something. And
it happens.
Paul was like, yeah, so I guess you could consider her extinct.
Just a fun little.
It just made me laugh. I'm like, this guy is so funny. So I was always like very impressed with like your humor and your creativity. And so it felt a little chaotic in the beginning, and I didn't really know how it was going to come together. But I'm like, you know what?
The whole time for me, but
I'm like, I'm along for the ride.
Thank you.
This is a fun time. Everyone that was in it was really fun, and like you said, there's a few people that have a lot of experience as well as you that like
so grateful
were able
that.
to collaborate and be like, because they can picture the stage and they can picture how things normally go and like what we should do.
Dancer mindset, choreographer mindset, performer mindset, everything.
So yeah, I gained a lot of just like knowledge, just kind of watching everybody work, and that was really cool. So, and everyone is so encouraging. So I had a great time. Would definitely love to do it again.
Absolutely. Yeah. They already have the performance dates and everything. The next audition day. It's a system, and that's why it's so easy to do. It's just all set up.
They have a very good, like, smooth, organized system, which is, and it's also just very accessible for anyone that's interested in choreographing. Like,
that's why I love it. It was so inclusive. Yeah. Like, that's why I've been part of it for so long. I really like the vibes and how it's trying to do that. So I appreciate it, and that's why I've been with them for so long, I think. So
what was your first piece that you did for them?
I'm trying to think. It had been a long time, and I don't want to say I was doubting myself, but I was like, I really want to do this. And based off this, I love that they have a variety of styles. Like, there's so much contemporary for those dancers and musical theater, and there's always a tap number. And hip-hop, yes. Like, whatever else, I'd love to see. I saw they had an aerial piece one time. Like, they'll do it.
Oh, wow.
They'll have it all if you want it, and that's why I like it. And that's why I was like, what could I do to get myself inside here? And I was like, I bet you here down in LA, no one's going to do a country musical theater piece.
Wait, what?
I took a song from this movie called Country Strong, and it was Gwyneth Paltrow and it was called Shake That Thing. And it was amazing. Shake that thing. Can she? No, I'm just kidding. I love her. That movie is a choice. I don't even know. What? I don't know. I guess and it worked out because they're LA Unbound closet. They have a bunch of cowboy hats, handkerchiefs, whatever. She said yes. I don't know. Maybe she was just, I know Betsy through her now husband.
She's the original founder of Unbound?
Yeah, original co-founder back in, I don't even know, I'm going to make this up, 2011. You can ask her. But she was in that piece, actually. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She took a chance, or I feel like she did. She was like, yeah, you can choreograph for the show. And it was a different system back then, so it wasn't like, who wants to be in this piece? They just, like, you kind of just grabbed a bunch of people, and they had to be in it in a weird way. So I don't know. That's why it's morphed along, and that's why I love it, and that's why I love to have dancers that actually want to be in my piece, because, I've told you I care about them enjoying the experience and feeling comfortable, and costume-wise, choreo-wise, all these things-wise. So anyway, it was a really fun dive back into it. It was a big number because of that. Like, I was just like, yeah, get me as many people as possible. It might have been up to 30. So
oh, wow.
That was really fun, and I did have a little story to it, of course. I couldn't help myself, so... There was some shenanigans. Just like having, it's called, I'm trying to remember. It's so long ago, I can barely remember. But I just know the song is Shake That Thing. I don't know. It's about having fun, like getting drunk in a parking lot, whatever. Just like that kind of fun energy vibe, whatever. I don't know. I need to re-listen and rewatch it. But yeah, I set up a little bar scene, a little choreo. There's some flirting. There's some drunkenness. There's some just partying and having fun and doing some cute little coyote ugly girl experience vibes, but really cutesy and whatever. I don't even know. So we had a cop coming through at the end, arresting people, random things like that. See, that's so me. I just kept up with it.
What? Okay. Obviously, the Jurassic Park one was your favorite. But if you couldn't pick that one, what would you say is your favorite of all the other ones?
Oh my goodness. I've had so many. And they've all had a story.
I know you probably love all of them. But if there's like one that stands out that you're like, this one
besides
was like
Jurassic
especially
Creep,
special.
It's always usually the newest one. Dude, wait, hold on. I really loved story-wise, my Mortal Kombat one, but hey, you know what?
Mortal Kombat one.
I know, so I should just say that it was epic. It was so good. But I'm gonna say my true favorite. It was when we were at the Alex Theater one time. It was called Somebody to Love by Leighton Meester.
From that one
Gossip
with
Girl.
Haley, the one that Haley was in.
She was in it. I put her right front and center. I was like, tall people usually don't get their moment. I was like, Haley, you are the flight attendant. You were right up front, and she served, and it was so amazing. And it was very, I don't know. I love to do as many styles as I can. When I did that audition, I was like, this is like, I don't know, jazz, Vogue style. I don't know what I was trying to do. It was that energy, especially the middle part. But yeah, I loved that flight attendant piece. All the costumes were so cool. I love this. I don't know. I just love that song and the artist, and it.
Wait, they were flight attendants? Why do I not remember that aspect of it?
I don't know. I try to make it, in the lyrics, it's like, been around the world, but I can't seem to find somebody to love.
Okay.
Relatable? Hello? No, and it was just so cute with my pilot costume and their flight attendant costumes, and I don't know. The pink
cute.
Sunset lighting. So that's my favorite. That's my personal favorite, because I don't know. But I do musical theater, I feel like, the best, or that's just what I'm known for now, so I'm trying to give it every time. But I might need a break after this Jurassic Creep. That was a lot, and it was perfect. How do I beat that? I don't know. I keep having to outdo myself, so I don't even know if I can do it ever again. I want to retire, help, but I might just do a normal dance next time, or we'll see. I just go with the flow.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You're very gifted with creativity, because I don't know, even hearing you describe the other ones, I'm like, where did you
every
come
single
up with
one,
this stuff?
everyone's like, are you okay? But no, sometimes they're a little more creative than what can be seen. But that's nice to have a backstory, and sometimes people get it. Sometimes people make their own idea of what it is, and I'm so glad whatever touches or intrigues them,
Well, I love that you actually have a story, because there's so many times I watch dances, and I'm like trying to figure out what the story is. And afterwards, I'll go up to them and be like, okay, so was it like she was blah, blah, blah? And they're like, well, it's just like whatever you want it to be. Which, of course,
that's cute too, but
that's fine. But I really like when there's someone that can be like, well, what happened was they were on a plane and
I will have that.
Then they got arrested.
That backstory, and I love it. And
if you want to make it something else, fine. But like,
exactly.
I love that there is an answer, because I want to know what the answer is. I'm like, but like, I get it that it can be anything. It's art. But like, I'm like, but what was your vision? Or I'll even ask like the actor or the dancer, like, what were you making up in your head about it? Because I'm just curious, like, because I had something in my head, but I kind of want to know, like, but what was it? Like, what was your thought? You know. So I love that you actually have a story.
Thank you. Because I had all those alien themes, and that's very abstract in its own way. But I definitely had a super specific. This is a love story to whatever. So
Yeah.
Thank you.
And when
thank you for noticing, appreciating it.
Yeah.
There's the right dance for everyone, audience wise and dancer wise. So it's really cool.
Yeah. When you are coming up with a dance for Unbound, is it just like in the months before you have to submit? Is it just like a song or something hits you and you're like, oh, I know what it's going to be? Or is it like you sit down and you're like, today I'm going to try to figure out what my dance is going to be? Like, what?
Oh, no. I don't know. Ever since I started choreographing, I think since high school, right? I hear a song and I just imagine visuals, or like I feel like I got into dance because I love music videos. Okay. So that's where my mind always is. I'm like, oh, picture this, picture that. But now it's more for the stage because I usually choreograph for this company. And I often just do music I love. I'll listen to stuff on shuffle. If I get an idea, then I'll save it to a playlist or I'll write it down or whatever. Because normally I have a list to pull from. This one, this Jurassic Creep, I was sitting on for a couple years because I was like, this is a lot to have to do. The dinosaur mask and everything I envisioned for it. So I was like, it has to be right. And I can't just like half-ass this, I guess you could say. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like some dances are easier to choreograph than others. That was a lot of costumes and moments that I'd have to do. Like if a dance is just a dance, and that's why maybe next time I just 5, 6, 7, 8, here you go. Here's your costume and go out there and dance. Like I'll make a story obviously, but oh my God. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Does that make sense?
Yes,
oh my gosh.
Yes. Okay, so I know we were talking a lot about Unbound. I just think there's like so much to say about it, and you're so involved with it. So I don't even care if we keep talking about it. But please check out Unbound. It's just an amazing experience and show. And
because of me, you're welcome.
Mostly because of Paul.
I'm just joking. I love them so much. But
okay, so let's go back. Okay, well first, currently, what does your dance life look like /week? And you're also an actor, right? Yes.
Yeah.
So what is your kind of regular, I know it's probably all over the place because that's how it is for an artist sometimes, but what does your regular week sort of look like usually?
You know what? From a dance lens, this is my summer break. That's why, just to shout out Unbound one more time, if not anything else, it's like there's the winter break and the summer break where I can decompress and be like, I just did that, wow, and then re-up to be able to do it again, because it's a lot to commit a whole week or whatever. I don't know. It's so low-key, but it's as much as you want it to be, but I want it to be everything it can be for my dances, especially, so it's a lot to put into it. I'm very creative, but the process of making it come to life, the process of making it, teachable and vision and clear 5, 6, 7, 8 as much as I can is the hardest part, but I always get there. But so I usually need to do nothing, but so my dance week is waiting for the next audition, waiting for their dance nights. But also now, the older I get, whatever, I'm less self-conscious, but also I'll go to what people invite me to. That's just what I'm like. So now I've been getting invited to dance classes for whatever reason with friends who wanted to get into it. Maybe I inspire them. Just kidding. And it's nice to just have a workout. I love to burn calories. And you know what? I do want to be a better dancer. I should be so confident, and I am in a certain way, but I want to be the best I can be. I want to get better forever and forever and forever. All these people that dance their whole lives or whatever age, I'm so inspired by them, and I want to be like that, and I want to dance forever. I love music, so I just can't imagine not dancing, so I want to keep it up, and I want to get better. And taking these classes, I've realized you pick things up faster if you take more and more classes, so I absolutely love that. So when people invite me, if I can fit it into my schedule, then I'll go in the middle of the day, I'll go at night, whatever, because I used to be so intimidated when I first moved to LA. It was just that whole I'm a beginner dancer mindset, and it's just so crazy. And that's why I was able to flourish in Unbound, because they're super inclusive and encouraging, and there's so many styles and levels. So
I'm sure you've grown so much from all the pieces you've been in too.
Absolutely.
From choreographing as well as being in. I'm sure you are a good I mean, obviously you are a good dancer, and even if you aren't taking random classes, you've literally done all these shows. Like, even just the ability to perform dance, that's something that is very new for me and was really nerve-wracking, and that is going to be an area I have to grow still a lot, just to like
I mean,
just to figure out how to like calm myself down and stuff like that.
Wow. But yeah, we all have to learn.
Yeah, but you are like, you've been doing that forever now.
Yeah, you know what? I'm proud to say you can get there, baby, because you know what? I used to be so nervous. That's not even, I think I'm nervous for my own dancers. I'm like, did I do everything that, it's like, I'm worried about my role as a choreographer, because for dance, I'm pretty good at, for the show date, knowing what I need to do, if that makes any sense. But yeah, oh my goodness gracious.
No, you did a great job of that. That's another thing, because like, I was so nervous, and I'd never been, like, I had been to that theater before, but I'd never like been behind the stage or seen it from the stage view, you know?
Yeah.
And like, Paul was so nice. Everybody was so nice, you know, when I first got there. But then Paul was like, oh, do you want me to show you? Let's go on the stage. Like, I'll show you. Like, that was really helpful. And I felt like that was so nice of you, because you have so much going on. You have so many props to figure out. You have so much.
Totally.
And you just like drop everything to like, I mean, I know you also needed to like see things, but it was so nice, and you weren't the only one that kind of like dropped everything to kind of help me or show me stuff, and so that was
really cool.
Another really great like vibe of LA Unbound is just everybody's encouraging and like helping new people or whatever.
Exactly.
So yeah, you definitely, like you were saying, you like care about the dancers and that everyone feels like confident and set.
Can I say something exactly about like dance classes? Like, for so long, I just thought, I feel like it's people go there to like show off, and I'm like, dang, like, I'm trying to learn and get better. Like, and it's hard when you feel that mindset. I've figured out how to place that in my own mind over the years, and now I'm old enough or don't care enough or feel like stable enough in my talents or whatever else to just go to a class and enjoy it for what it is and be like, that was great. Or we are very lucky to be here in LA, where there's so much dance and so many choices and options, and it's kind of overwhelming, and that's why I just don't, unless someone invites me, and I'm so grateful for people's recommendations and invites, because otherwise I won't. But because I loved just now in Amy's class where she was like, this is how you do a double stag turn, here's the technique, like up, shoulders down, arms up, smile, like, you know, and just like leap over the puddle, like, because, you know, I feel like I haven't had that since, I don't know. Maybe there's specific classes where they do give you the technique to know where to place your body and muscles and all these things, because it's a whole technique, and sometimes I feel like we're just struggling through, and they're like, there's the choreo, and do it, and do your best, and have fun.
Yeah, it definitely depends on the teacher. There are some teachers that I feel like the goal and the challenge and the training is picking up as much choreo as you can. And that's maybe not the class where they're going to break down every type of movement, but that's still a very good skill to have, to just be able to pick up the choreo. And for a while I was doing a lot of classes like that, and it can be stressful, but I also found myself getting a lot better at picking up choreo. Lately, I don't think that has been the type of class I've been in, which is why even this class, I was like, dang, I'm like not picking up this choreo fast, when I used to be a little bit better at that. But
it was so fast.
And then there's other classes where it's more about let me not throw a million counts at you, and let me like break down these things so that you're actually dancing better.
Yeah.
And that's also, those are maybe a little bit harder to find. And then some classes, a little bit of both.
Sure.
But I would say, like, it feels like in LA, it's just people are going to show off. But I would say, I do think some classes have a little bit more of that vibe.
And maybe they should, good for them. But
a lot of classes, I don't actually get that. I really get that people are there to train. It just so happens that like a lot of them are very good, and they're already professional.
It's amazing.
So it feels like they're showing off because they're just good.
No, I know.
You know?
Exactly.
But they're there to train too.
They totally are.
And
You're
even
so
training,
right. You gotta keep it up.
LA is very, people like will complain about like too much of the camera, too much time shooting at the end of class.
Oh.
But I've had some classes do feel like that, but I've had a lot of good teachers who are like, no, I want to train you how to dance on camera. So they will they're not just calling out the best people in class, they're actually calling out everybody in tons of different little groups, and like just doing camera, and they're not like obsessed with getting a perfect video. They're just like trying to teach you how to dance on camera. So they'll be like, try to look into the camera, and they'll give like tips.
That's great.
So I've taken
I love that.
a lot of classes like that as well. Cher Flair, she teaches jazz at Millennium.
Wow, what a name.
I know, she has a great name. She is one of the ones that I really admire for how she just like trains us to dance on camera, and you'll get like a zillion videos even if you're the worst one in class, because she'll just keep calling different people. So, but then there's some classes where you're like, okay, they pick these same people every time, and I'm over here and I'm like, feel like I'm not dancing. There are some classes like that. So I just think it takes exploring.
Dude, yeah, good for you, because you really have been exploring. Like, I see all your Instagram posts, and I'm just like, she's really out here doing all the classes, and I love classes. Like, I'm like really inspired. Yeah, like that's so cool. Like to see how far you come and to learn all these different styles and hearing all that. That's really inspiring. So I hope that I go to class more, because you make it sound so good. Like, you know.
Yeah, I'd love to have you go to class more, but at the same time, I mean, you put so much into all the performances, and like I can see why you're like. When you're in LA Unbound, I don't know how people. There are some people that do classes too, but I literally don't know how they're in like 5 pieces and they're doing classes, and I'm like, I could not do all of that. I have to practice at home and stuff. Like some people don't practice at home. I'm like, I don't know why, but I have to practice at home. Maybe it's because I'm new, but like.
No, I think it helps.
Oops.
So much.
We have a little shade. Can you like stick it back up? Will it stick?
I got distracted by.
Is there something over there?
No, just a person hairspraying their hair. I'm jealous. They might be going to dance class. They look like a hip hop dancer.
Okay. Wow. We're talking. Okay. This is going like I hope it's okay that we're still going, because we still have a little bit. We still have a little bit to get into.
I'll just be here for the rest of my day.
This person's probably like, what is happening over here?
They can join.
No, we don't have a microphone for them. Okay. So. Okay.
It looks like they're on a dance journey, though.
But
you
didn't. Yeah, for sure. They can be on another day. So, okay, but you didn't say lucky. What is the. So your week is like waiting for auditions. Yeah. And then maybe if you book something, then you're doing that.
Sadly, yeah. After all that, it's just like, oh, what am I doing? Yeah. It's just I do a class once a week. That's so embarrassing. Maybe twice if my friend is feeling spicy, or if now maybe more people invite me, because I don't know. I'm so inspired with this. Maybe I'll sign up for my own class for the very first time ever.
I think you should have one class, one of your next classes be like just one that you randomly pick. Okay. Or maybe because you've seen it on someone's thing and you're like, that looks fun, but it's like one that you pick.
Yeah, because
you just go.
People out here with their profiles. Yeah, it's really fun to meet people after class and just be inspired and follow them. So you're right. I see people in these classes and I'm like, there's that girl I know from class. They were so sweet. Look at them go. They're living their best life, and I smile. And then it keeps growing.
Yeah.
But anyway.
That's also okay. Okay, no, but like what else? Do you have other regular jobs?
Yeah, so you know what? The life of an artiste, right? I came down here to be in film, to pursue entertainment in every single way. I'm from Northern California. I'm from, I grew up in a little town called Orland, California, right near Chico. And I moved to Penn Valley in Lake Wildwood, near Grass Valley, Nevada County. See, this is why I just I'm from NorCal and not the Bay. The Bay is cool. I don't know. It's like 3 hours away from me. But and then I went to Chico State to get my BA in theater arts, and then I moved straight on down here. And yeah, so now here I am down in LA for how many years now?
You went to school for film?
Well, let's see. They had a theater and musical theater program there. Okay. And a musical theater dance, minor or something. So I was all up in that for sure. And I loved it all. And I'm glad I did it. Because, sometimes, when you want to pursue this, you're like, I should get down there and get it started. But I'm glad I learned everything I learned up there to give myself a foundation, honestly.
Did you do like musical theater type of stuff since you were like a kid, or?
You know what? I got into it kind of late, honestly. I think, depending. I don't have any stage parents. I don't know how I found this. I don't know. I remember singing for like Christmas at church or something, and that I was living for, singing Rudolph. See, I love to sing. I love to act. I love to dance. What? I think we just sang a big selection of Christmas songs. Aww. Whatever. So that's an early memory of performing for me that I enjoy and smile upon. But then in junior high, there was a little like drama elective. I was like, let me see what this is about. I loved to sing the play the semester before, and I was like, okay, I want to do this. So I've been drawn to I guess acting, dance, and I guess singing is when I started in college. I didn't really know. I just did it for fun.
So most of your dance was just like through the musical theater stuff in school. Yeah. You didn't do like dance classes outside of school or anything like that.
Let's see, dance. So how I started in dance specifically, high school, Nevada Union had it was a pretty big school, and they had a really good dance program.
Okay.
And 3 levels: beginning, intermediate, and advanced. And that's why maybe I always will feel like a beginner, because I did it for my PE requirement, beginning dance. And I think I auditioned my senior year to be a level up, and I had to do beginning again because it was all so new to me, I guess. Okay. And and it was learning that jazz technique. And I don't know, I love music, I love dance, so I continued it in college, where even though my 2 years of beginning dance, I became known as like a dancer because all these other guys didn't. You know? So I loved finding all that out, the singing, dancing, acting of it all, and just, you know, because lots of people grew up with it ingrained in them or through their family, and I just had to kind of find my way, and I did, and here I am, still trying, still doing it, still enjoying it. Most of the time.
Yeah. Okay, wait. When was, I know we're like hopping all around, but when was the first time, when was the first time you choreographed?
First time I choreographed, you know what? I think we did in high school that we had a little dance final, you know, you have a quiz, you have a test at the end of every normal class. We had to choreograph something for that. And furthermore, for my senior project, I choreographed a dance. Yeah. On its own. So we filmed that.
What was that?
I was a huge Britney Spears fan. It was a Britney Spears medley. I think a lot of people know it from her Greatest Hits album from like 2005. So that was really cool to do that and have people I knew through dance. I've always made friends through it, and that's why I love doing it, I guess. It's really fun to have that common bond with people who love music, performing, you know?
Yeah.
So I loved doing that. And I did a choreography seminar in choreography. Is that what they called that class in college? And I learned a lot of things because there's books on it too. Believe it or not. There's books about everything, I'm sure.
Is there some sort of tip or thing that you learned about choreography that stands out to you that like kind of was like life altering or anything?
From that era?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Or even from any time that you were studying it. Was there something that you were like, oh, and that's so helpful for you?
I'm trying to think.
Because I'm actually choreographing the bridal bridesmaid dance for my friend's wedding. There's like 10 girls. And she's in Seattle, so I have to like make tutorial videos. Okay. Like I'm going to be going as well. And there's a couple of us not in Seattle, but and I've choreographed a very tiny bit. And then these are girls that don't like take dance class. So it's not like, I don't have to come up with crazy moves. It's like stuff, and they're going to be in bridesmaid dresses. So it's not like I can do anything like nuts.
Yeah.
But
you know what?
I'm looking for tips, basically.
I'll give 2 for them specifically because I knew a girl, long story short. Oh my God, the width of dance. Okay, I got rear-ended one time in LA. And some girl, it was very, very light. Like, there was no damage. Okay. I should have just been like, okay, I don't care. But she felt so bad. She was like, I'm so sorry. Do you mind? Could I, like, maybe pay you out of pocket, like, so we don't have to involve insurance? I don't want to deal with insurance. I was like, yes. Like, I don't care. I'll probably never see you again. But, yeah, so she paid me or whatever. I'm sure, like, her parent helped her out because she seemed young like me at the time. So, I don't know. Or whatever. That's not the point. The point is she was like, I'm actually... oh, you're a dancer? I don't know how we started talking about dance. She was a dancer. She's like, I'm doing my first dance performance. Do you have any tips for me? I don't know how she found out I was a choreographer, but I was like, yes. I was like, just have fun. Like, for real, like, don't worry about the steps. Like, what people enjoy about seeing maybe beginning level dance in particular is like that person's enjoying themselves and performing, and that's what matters. Yeah. You know? Yeah, so that's what I'm telling for those girls, because it's obviously a fun party bridemaid thing. But for you as a choreographer, my favorite little tidbit, there's so many random things to learn and tips and tricks. But I love, maybe it didn't show in this last dance, but there was so much else going on. Formations. I feel like formations can be a really good tool for whatever. And if that helps you for this. And I think one random thing, like just super obscure, since that's what I like. I feel like there was one thing I learned in that choreography book that one time. No. But it always stuck with me, just like, people, at least in this country, read from left to right. So their eye will go there first. Yeah,
that makes sense.
So if that for whatever reason you want a focus or like a ripple,
Yeah.
or who knows, like just keep that in mind, and maybe just that little random tidbit, whether it's right or wrong, will help you choreograph. It's nice to be inspired by anything, for formations, for where to start, for where to end, for where the eye will go naturally for the audience, because I'm always thinking about the audience.
Yeah, no, that's great.
I am. It's for them.
Yeah.
It's not for us. I mean, it is, but...
Yeah. No, I love that. That's actually a really good tip, the left to right thing. The formations is going to be like, I want to do a little bit with that, but it's hard because we're not going to have many rehearsals like together.
Yeah.
They're going to have a couple without me,
front,
but yeah, so I'm going to try to do a little, but like not too much that it's like, oh...
Are you going to be in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm only...
Because there's been times where I've tried to not be in my own pieces. You're welcome. That's what I grew up on. The choreographer can't be in their own dance. They have to watch and sit. But LA Unbound doesn't frown on that, so I really dove into that. I was like, good, I get to do whatever I want then.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I wish I didn't. But yeah, it's just like the dancers want you to be in it so they can watch you. It's like, okay, but you have to know it though.
Yeah. You know what? I can see it being fun both ways.
Because I'm going to mess up too, probably.
Like, it's because it would be fun to, and I have done this, like I choreographed a piece and then just get to sit back and watch. It's such a fun feeling to be like, oh my gosh, I helped put this together, but they're so amazing. Like, that's really a nice feeling.
Just enjoy your work.
But have you always been in your pieces with LA Unbound?
Almost all of them.
Okay.
Almost all of them. I feel like I was trying to be real artsy. I was trying to prove myself. I don't know. I'm always trying to do that. But that dance with Haley, where it was called Mean Drugs, and it was the DJ Snake or whatever. That I loved that piece. It was a little dark. I loved it. I don't know. It was like a really intimate black box theater performance, and I wasn't in it. I was like, this is about them. This is like a movie. I have a director's eye, and I'm just sitting in that director's chair because they have those in choreography classes. Anyway, and I was just like, yes, this is right. This is all cool, and I'm glad I wasn't in it. Yeah, it was called Mean Drugs. It was like Mean Girls, but also like, I don't know.
I love your creative
It was anti-drug.
titles.
It was Dare. Okay, it was nobody, or it was about friendship. Okay, it was about sisterhood. You'll see. If you see any of my dances and want the backstory, holla at me. I'll tell you. I remember all of them.
You'll have a lot of details. Going back.
Sure.
So you went through school. You learned all these things. What was your in moving to LA? What, and maybe even still now? What?
Sure.
You've already like actually accomplished like a lot of things, but what was there like a specific vision when you were moving to LA, like, oh, this is what I'm really striving to have happen?
I mean, always. I mean, I'm just trying to roll with the punches, be open to it, because I've not the whole jack of all trades, master of none thing. But I love them all. I don't know which one to pick, and sometimes it is overwhelming, especially when you commit to it as a job instead of just a hobby. Like, it becomes a little stressful and you get burnt out, honestly, and it's sad. And I don't know, you have to keep re-inspiring yourself because it's a very competitive, and you just have to have a support system or be very confident in yourself and not be deviated. But let me think. And you have to survive down here too. It's a big city. We're just trying to pay our rent, and that's all I've ever been trying to do. But I moved down here to be an actor in movies. I've always had fantasies. I used to keep this so close to my chest, but just I always wanted to be a pop star. I grew up admiring all those, I always call them what was it? Disney alumni. They keep at it with all these people acting, singing, dancing, doing movies. I'm just like, oh wow, that's so cool. Like, I'd love to do that. I love that energy. I love I don't know what you call it, not glitz and glamour, just the lights, the music, the fun, the energy. But I love when a movie really touches you. The older you get, the more, I mean, art just speaks to you, and it's just like something connect to. Like, life can be so boring, but I don't know. It's just like, those things are so exciting to me and so inspiring. So I wanted to be part of it. I'm here in Hollywood. I love being in the energy of it all. So that's what I will always pursue, and I hope I never give up, even though I take breaks from it. Like right now, I'm like, if I get a self-tape for dance, great. If I don't, for acting, like, I can't self-submit this hard. I need to get a new agent. I don't know, all these things. So it's just overwhelming. Does that have any, did I even answer?
I mean, that sounds like the actor performer life. How many years have you been in LA now?
Let's see. Okay, honestly, I can't count. Just kidding. Honestly, I moved down in 2009.
That's when I moved here.
No way. What?
I moved here the same year as you did.
That's
do acting.
so crazy.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Look at us come. Oh my God.
Yeah,
it's been
crazy.
It's been a hot second. How's it going for you over there?
I mean, I quit. I went into the corporate world for 8 years.
Ooh.
And then I quit
what kind
that.
of corporate world?
I mean,
Dang.
it wasn't like I just was ready to like be able to build a savings and like have more money, because acting
Absolutely.
was like, there were things happening and progressing.
Wow.
And I didn't come here for like dance. It was more just like for film acting. I was doing some theater.
Wow. Okay.
But then,
Same, I guess.
yeah, but then I kind of discovered dance classes through like a lot of my roommates were dancers.
Okay.
Even like before Haley, it's like almost every roommate I ever had in LA was like a dancer. And so I just kind of discovered dance classes.
Good for you. Fun.
Yeah. So I did that
fun.
on the side a little. I didn't get more committed to dance till later, but
okay. Yeah, it seems like it. Good for you.
And then I just decided to give up acting for a year as an experiment.
Wow.
But after 2 months of not doing acting, I felt like a huge weight was lifted off of me and I could breathe again. I wasn't expecting that. I thought I was going to like miss it, but it was just like an experiment.
I totally understand.
But I think I was doing a lot of acting class. Like I would get little jobs here and there. I wasn't like booking all the time, but I had, sometimes I'd have like a spurt of like booking.
Wow.
And when I say booking, I mean, they were like plays or short films. It wasn't like
good
booking,
for you.
know,
no,
but like,
absolutely.
And then it would be kind of exciting, but then, going back to just like all of my random odd jobs, babysitting, cleaning houses, like working different retail jobs, it was just like, I was just tired of that. I didn't realize I was tired of that life until all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not in acting class. I'm not memorizing. I would be in my room just memorizing because we would do these like huge scripts.
You seem to be really committed. So
I'm like, I'm not hanging out with people because I'm in my room memorizing lines. I was just kind of over it. So I felt amazing. And what I loved was just having my life free again. And then I would go to a dance class here or there.
Wow.
Besides that, I wasn't doing a lot of artistic. I was just like, looking for a job. I was still doing my odd jobs. I was like, I'm just going to get a regular job. That should be easy now that I don't have to be flexible. Because I thought the only reason I have odd jobs is because I have to be flexible for acting. Now I can get like a real job. Okay, like it took me a year to get a real job, which felt really long. I was like, wait, why can't... I'm like, I thought acting was hard, but getting a real job is hard
funny.
too.
It's so
and
true.
so that was rough, but I ended up getting a job that I didn't feel like I deserved. I felt like God placed it in my lap for my prayers for a year.
I mean, good.
And it was good, and I was there for 8 years and actually got promoted very quickly, and like it was a good experience for the first 5 years.
Oh my gosh.
And then the last few years, it's not that it was a bad experience. It was just like it was getting rougher and rougher. There was it was a big company. There was a lot of merges. There was a lot of extra responsibilities being added.
Gracious.
And I was starting to feel I was getting more into dance. So I was dancing all the time. But then I was like driving far to work all the time. And then I was like I was a manager, having more responsibilities.
Oh no.
And I was starting to have like emotional breakdowns like every week.
I mean, that's a lot.
And I was like, I don't think this is working anymore. So anyway, I quit. But my plan was to get another office job. It was not to do artistic things.
Okay.
But I could not find something for a while, months, and I was applying to everything. And then I felt, so I have like a relationship with God and I pray a lot, and I felt like God downloaded this like thing to me that was like, you need to start a podcast and write a book. So that's what I did.
That's so
and
awesome.
I went through my savings, my beautiful savings that I was so excited to have from my job. I went through it to have time to do all the things I wanted to do, and I just started dancing all the time, doing a podcast. I mean, this is like episode 52 now or something.
That's wild. Good for you.
And I published my first book, which is about my first year in acting, so you should read it because it was the same year that you came.
I'm so curious.
So
Hasn't it changed so much since then?
Yeah, I mean, like you would know more than me as far as like acting goes,
but
the phrasing and the words I use, because it's like literally from 2010. I think you would find it funny because
I'm so curious.
Because it's probably you're gonna relate to it.
That might be my one book of the year because I'm not an avid reader.
Okay. A lot of people that like it that aren't big readers, because it's a very like very quick read, and like it's very just like humorous.
I read my friends' books. Isn't it funny? Oh, I read my friends' books.
Read.
Yeah. I have a friend who puts out a book, I'll read it. Okay. I think I've been a good friend like that. So I'm gonna read your book. I'm very curious because it's been so crazy. I just got started. I would do like central casting. I don't know, background actor work. I would be on Craigslist. I did random backup dancer auditions. Everything was so crazy. Oh my god.
But now I'm like when I got a regular job, I like honorarily withdrew from SAG. So that I didn't have to pay the fees anymore.
Oh my god.
And then after I quit my job, when I wasn't getting a new job, I was like, well, maybe I should like pay the fees again and like see if I can do some background work or something.
Sure.
So I am in SAG again.
Oh, great.
But I don't really know if that's the direction I'm going.
You never know.
I'm doing a free trial on like LA casting, like
fun.
casting networks, and I'm just like,
I should do that. Mine's just charging me for no reason.
But I'm like, I don't think this is getting me anywhere. I'm like, oh man, I feel like I'm reliving my past now. But like, I kind of feel relieved to be living the artistic journey again.
Good.
If a job comes my way and it's meant for me, then great. But otherwise, I'm like, you know what? I've been doing some odd jobs. So yeah, that was my question to you. What's your other type of,
okay,
like, do you have you have non-performing work, and like what is it?
Yeah, sure.
Hi everyone. So I wanted to tell you about my new book, The Tracy in LA Newsletters 2010. This is my very first memoir. There will be more. It's not like a normal memoir where you're looking back on your life and reflecting on it and writing a book about it. It's more like a memoir in real time. So basically, when I very first moved to LA to pursue acting, which was in 2009, I decided I was going to write these like monthly newsletters where I sent out actual letters in the actual mail to a bunch of my friends every month to give them updates on what I was doing with acting and jobs and friendships and all kinds of things that I was going through my very first time ever living in LA. It ended up being pretty humorous, and so I've basically gone back and edited them so that I could publish them as a book. So that's what this is, and yeah, if you want to be entertained and have a good laugh, buy my book, or if you just want to help me pay my rent next month. Oh, and you can get it on Amazon. The Tracy in LA Newsletters 2010 by Tracy Nicole. Nicole is my middle name. Also, there's a link in my Instagram bio. You can get it paperback or on Kindle.
I'd love to share. Let me think. We all have to find our way down here, obviously. It's all about who you know sometimes, even when it's not even the industry. I mean, it kind of is. So
yeah, even in other things.
Yeah, I'm not in SAG. Maybe someday, hopefully, and then I can have all those own worries of my own.
Sometimes it's better to not be in SAG, though, so.
I mean, let's see. I think the guild I'm in is a little more chill. I have no idea. Don't ask me for that kind of stuff. But I'm in the Editors Guild. Thank you very much. I found my way to survive in LA through post-production and production work.
Oh, nice.
I had a friend who I did musical theater with and sang songs with who was a transcription manager of Hell's Kitchen. So she knew I could type fast, I guess. My video game experience, hello, or something. Who knows? Just all this natural talent of being able to type fast. No, but
I can type fast too.
There you go. See, you mean
that's why we're both like crazy emailers.
No wonder we love emails.
And that was my old job. I had to send like 100 emails a day, and I actually kind of liked that
well, good.
Part of it.
Okay, great. Maybe I could tell. You responded the most, and I was like, okay, I hope everyone else can handle this because they need to. No, I don't know. These funny dinosaur jokes. Let's see. Not too many dinosaur jokes in my jobs, I guess. I'm just, So
wait, so you're doing
a lot of reality TV shows. I'm helping the story producers usually. It's it's very niche. Like, I don't know. It's just like watching footage and either summarizing it or like writing it out or correcting AI's work these days or whatever. I don't even know. It's just whatever they need me to do. I'm for some reason the Editors Guild, and I work on all these shows and I do my thing, and
that's cool.
Yeah, some of it's flexible, some of it isn't, and I just make my schedule for dance based off that whenever I'm working those gigs, because even then it's gig to gig to gig to gig. Those are like 50-hour weeks, so I'm grateful for the work. I love summer, and I guess I love being paid too, because I need to pay my rent. I just stockpile my money and hopefully live off that until the next gig, stuff like that. That's the life we're living down here. So I'm grateful for that. Summer is my favorite time of year. I wish I wasn't working so hard, but these days you got to be thankful for a job, and I always have been, and it just gets worse. But no, that's not.
It gets worse.
It just gets worse. End of
thankful.
podcast. Just kidding. Yeah, and you get more thankful for everything
because
you have.
your life is getting worse, so you get more thankful for jobs.
No, I guess the industry, and everybody's always just trying to make a living. It's wild out here. So
Did
I don't
you
know.
ever?
It's nice to have the arts to not feel so
ever,
negative.
Have you ever lived anywhere except California?
Oh, there's been a couple of times where like I'm gonna move to Vegas. It's cheaper. But no, I always have lived in LA. Like there was a couple of times I had to move back home. Because of recessions and all these things.
Yeah.
I've never moved to Chicago. I might. I love improv. I've had a whole my improv journey.
Oh yeah, where did you take it? Because I took one improv class with Second City in Chicago.
Oh,
I took a few classes with UCB. Upright Citizens Brigade here.
I did one UCB.
And that's and then I did these free improv classes with this company called Monkey Butler. It was
Never heard of that. That's so funny though.
It was through a church organization, but there was actually a lot of different ones that met all over LA, and then they would do performances a lot and stuff.
Love that.
I didn't do the performances.
Okay.
Because I don't know, because I have this thing where I just like class.
You're so funny.
But not anymore. We're changing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so where did you do, what was your improv story?
Well, it was just way later. I don't even know why I brought that up. Just because it's fun. Oh, because of Chicago. I just thought of improv.
Yeah, because they're big.
Because New York was always too crazy. Like, so far and, like, intense with those tall buildings and just, like, New York energy. Like, what? Like, I'm sure it's amazing. I need to go visit as an adult because I only went as a kid and it was overwhelming. And I've always been more drawn to film.
I'm not a big fan of New York. I've been two times.
I'm curious.
They do have amazing dance classes, and I took one class in person.
Intense,
I took a ton of. No, the thing I like about New York is with dance is they have so many levels. Like,
okay, that makes sense.
Like here, it's like so much advanced stuff. It's hard to find like a beginner level of something.
The one we just did might have been, but it didn't feel like it did it.
Yeah, it's like that was kind of a mixed vibe, but like
Jazzuals.
Jazzuals. Is it Jazzuals or Jazzuals?
Jazzual.
Jazzuals. That's the name of the class we were at today. Jazzuals.
I think so, yeah.
That was so fun. You guys gotta try it. But anyways, yeah, in New York, you're gonna find like intro to ballet, basic, beginner, like complete. There's one called like complete intro, never took ballet before. I mean, it's like something like that.
Sure.
So you really can grow. And so during the pandemic, I did virtual classes through New York the whole time.
Yeah, it all went virtual.
And it was amazing because you can do like beginner, advanced beginner,
wow, that was a time.
Beginner, intermediate. I mean, they really have all the levels.
I'm so glad we had that for us
during that. It's not intimidating because
everybody.
it's actually, I actually think it's more accessible in a way. But besides that, I just don't like, New York is just kind of like, there's rats and they put the there's a lot of trash on the streets. This is like, I have talked about
compared to Chicago.
So what my stepdad explained to me was, because one time I had a trip that was to New York and then to Chicago right afterwards, and I was like, I never thought of Chicago as a super clean city, but after I went to New York, I was like, why is Chicago like so much like cleaner? It like feels like better.
Because the wind. I'm just joking.
Because the wind.
It blows the trash away.
The wind blows the trash.
I guess. I don't know.
I'm dying.
It's newer than New York.
No, yeah, because like, my stepdad was like, because the Chicago fire, and then they like rebuilt the city.
Gosh.
So like,
whoa, I didn't know
they
that.
rebuilt it a different way. So now they have like alleys and dumpsters in like places that are behind things.
Smart.
Whereas New York, they don't have spaces for that. So that's why everyone puts the trash like on the street, and that can create a smell in the summer. It can attract rats.
Oh boy!
And then that mixed
I'm glad
with
they love it.
Yeah, that mixed with like, it's so expensive to live there, which is kind of ironic
even
considering.
More than LA. Yeah, it's so
and
crazy.
then
I don't get it.
You get very small spaces to live, and then the seasons it's like so cold, and I'm so spoiled. It's like to be here. So
I know, I love the sun.
New York, good to visit. Probably won't ever live there, although unless if it's God's calling in my life, sure, fine, whatever.
We'll
it's fine.
see. You never know.
But anyway, okay, so you've only lived in California, and what was I going to ask you about that?
California boy.
Have you ever gotten discouraged? I know we've all gotten discouraged.
I'm just gonna say yes.
So yes, that's we know that answer because everyone's
over and
I don't know anyone that hasn't. But have you ever gotten discouraged to the point where you were like, do I want to try to do something totally different? Like, did you ever have like a moment? I don't think you actually.
Dance wise or just in life wise?
Just like
yes to all of it, but
just like
I don't know.
Just like, I am tired of this performance pursuit. I just want like a regular job, or I want to move to Colorado and we're gonna farm. I don't know if there are farms.
Yes,
in Colorado.
I can't. No, I know. I hope so. I'm sure there is, and that sounds nice. So yeah, I try to be open-minded. I have this passion that will never die, but also it dies all the time. I'm just like, I can't do this anymore. And that's been the journey and the cycle. You just have to keep doing it over and over and over until you die, I guess. Like, what? Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, for real. I'd love to live in a farm in Colorado. I'd love to live anywhere. I think about it a lot because sometimes I get overwhelmed just by, LA or the people or attitudes or nothing.
What would you say is like the most overwhelming thing?
About LA? About LA. Okay.
And just, like,
the most
anything.
overthink. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't know. This isn't really for this podcast. I feel like I don't know. I feel like I might be a little of a romantic. I feel like dating in LA is really hard.
Okay.
It's probably hard anywhere. So it's like, so I don't know. What does that mean? I don't know. It means I need to get out of here.
Yeah.
But
well,
maybe I don't. I don't know.
Because everybody's so like driven, thinking about their careers, and
maybe.
people aren't. I always have thought that, like, because
maybe.
You know, growing up in the Midwest, like a lot of my friends got married like right after college.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Even some people
Small
right
town.
after high school.
Yeah, Northern
and I
California
wasn't
too.
Yeah, and then coming here, it's like I don't feel weird being single at my age. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm totally fine with being single the rest of my life.
You feel weird
I don't
not
care.
hustling to pursue your biggest, wildest dreams, and if you're not doing enough, then you're not doing enough, and it's your fault. Oh my God, who said that?
Okay, so that's the feeling that you have.
Yeah.
I think it was cool for me to get away from that for like 8 years, because I think it was nice when I escaped to the corporate world. I think it was nice to kind of like try a different life.
8 years or 5 or whatever.
8 years,
That's so many.
yeah. And then
Wow.
coming back, and I don't know how this is gonna go, but I do like that I'm doing a different thing artistically than I was, because before it was just like trying to do acting. Now it's like, okay, I'm writing books. I'm working on my second one, actually, and
That's
I'm
so cool.
doing this podcast, and I'm trying to get better
What's the
at
second one
dancing.
about? Is it a secret?
No, so. Okay, I'll just explain really fast. This
Please,
is going to
I
be a
wanna
long
know.
podcast. I'm sorry.
You love it. You love it.
So the first one, it's my first year in LA. So basically what happened was when I moved to LA, I had all these friends outside of LA, in Northern California actually, because I was
Wow.
living in San Jose for a few years.
Totally.
Yeah, and then in Chicago before that. So I had a lot of friends up in San Jose, friends in
Great.
Chicago from college and stuff.
Wow.
They were like, what's going on in LA? Have you made it? So like when you move from the maybe it's like this for you too. Like
yes.
when you move from somewhere where people don't do that normally,
They're
you get a
curious.
lot of like questions of like,
Absolutely.
you know,
It's like, damn, I haven't got there yet.
and it's like, for me, it was like, you know, I'm trying so hard just to even get like an extras job, right? I barely could pay my rent. I was like buying tuna from the 99-cent store. And I remember
dedicated.
like, I got a featured extra role on Glee.
Oh my God,
That was
I was
the
on
year-
Glee.
I'm not
Shut
shocked.
up.
We were probably, I was
We're
on
the
it twice.
same person.
Yeah, like, well, because
Oh,
it was,
no,
it was
once. You look
'cause
way
it
more
was-
Glee than me.
It was
No, I
big
looked
that
really-
year. It was big. It was big for a while, but that was the first year of it.
Wow.
And
Heck yeah.
and yeah, so
Were you at the pep rally when Mercedes was singing a nice,
no.
Beautiful by Christina Aguilera? Okay, just me.
There was a while that I felt like I couldn't. My friend was like, "You got to get on this show, Glee," and I was like calling the number. I could not get on it for a while. Then finally, they called me. This is what's funny is they
Amazing.
called me to be this character that was from like 2001, like a yearbook. They called me to be a yearbook picture
What?
of an old Glee member.
Okay.
And I had a name. It was Tawny Peterson.
Amazing.
And they
Oh my
were
goodness.
trying to. I think the episode was about how they didn't want to take yearbook pictures. They
Okay.
were like, you know what they did to us back then,
Oh.
and it was all of our yearbook pictures with like arrows drawn through our heads and things like
Okay,
that. So it was
okay,
like a
okay.
photo shoot
That's
actually.
funny.
But they were like
Okay.
Exhibit A, and it was this guy.
That's so
And
funny.
they're like Exhibit B, Tawny Peterson, and they showed
Oh
me
my
in like 3 different
gosh.
photos. But like literally,
See?
my big face was in the credits of the episode before.
That's
like
so
for the next
funny.
episode, which was weird. And a bunch of my friends saw it, and then when the episode aired,
That's amazing.
everybody online was like talking about how I was making it in LA. And the joke is like I had like no money. Could barely like go to the grocery store. And that job paid me like $60. It was like non-union.
Right.
And it was a photo shoot. And all my friends are like, look at Tracy
Yeah.
on TV. And
Your
that's
big
was
moment
like
here is $80.
so crazy. And then what else is funny is I did a lot more extras work after that. Some company called me again for Glee, and they were like, "We want you to be in a featured extra in this like one little scene where blah
my
blah."
goodness.
And I literally told them on the phone, "No, I can't be because." I was an old Glee member from I was so
Yeah.
concerned about the story. I was like,
Don't.
I was an old Glee member
That's
from
their fault.
2001,
No,
so I
totally.
can't be a featured extra in the present.
You're their dead twin that came back
they
to
were
life.
like, don't worry about it. They just want you, so just don't worry about it.
Oh, good, yeah.
But anyway, okay. The point is, wait, what were you gonna say?
Nothing.
What was your Glee?
Just my dance journey. Just because it made me remember the time I was an extra on Bunheads, which is
Oh my
dance.
gosh. Okay, you
Which
have to
is
tell me.
dance.
Okay, Bunheads. What's funny is I watched that for the first time a few years ago. I was
Did
never
you see
on
me?
it.
Just kidding.
I mean, probably.
I was
but
really far in the back
I
before.
loved that show.
I need to
was
watch
like,
it.
dang, this is a good show because it was like people like Gilmore Girls. I was never a big Gilmore Girls fan.
It feels like that energy. Just
but it was
when
like
you say it,
it
like
was
that.
like Gilmore Girls, but it was like with dance. And then I was like, oh, but now I like it because it's the same producer, I think, or writer or something.
Okay.
And then it's the same like main character, and I was like, oh, this show I can get into. But it was only on for like a season.
Yeah, I think they had 2 seasons. I don't know which one I was on, so I'll have to try to find it. But my big memory from that set was showing up there. I think it was through Central Casting. They wanted male dancers. I was like, oh, that's me. So I showed up. I was like, yay, I got it. And then I went in there, and we're like in the back stretching. They're just trying to pretend we're in the back of a ballet class. And some lady came in really angry. She's like, are any of you even real dancers? And these other guys that were just there, maybe they weren't. Maybe they were. I don't know. Maybe they weren't giving real ballet male dancer. So everybody just got quiet. I didn't know what to say either. I was like, what do you want from us? Like an across the floor? Like, what do we have to prove over here? I don't even know what I think she was just mad at Central. There was like, you know, they always want, oh, real this, real that. So maybe they got mad about it. It's like, okay, well, we're just in the back, so who cares? And that was just another trigger for me being like, I'm not good enough to dance or help.
Oh my gosh, that's kind of traumatizing.
I know.
Did you have to like be at a bar doing stuff, or were you just like stretching in the scene?
Yeah,
what were you doing?
Be at a bar stretching. Maybe it didn't look real. We're just like doing our little, I don't know, maybe they were just doing soccer stretches. Who knows? That lady left. It's fine. It doesn't matter. But
that is a little stressful though. And even on those like
Hollywood
forms when you're filling out for extras work, because I kind of refilled them out recently, I was like, dancer.
Yeah.
I've literally been taking so many classes for 7 years, but I was still like advanced beginner.
Right?
Like, I don't know, because
so
you just
stupid.
don't know in LA, and you don't want to get there, and then they're like, well, you can't do like a quadruple turn, or like,
I know.
you know.
All these casting for dancers are the worst, like for real. That's my opinion. I'm just like, what do you mean by this, and what do you want? And you just have to do your best. It's just, I guess it's the same as everything. You just have to do your best, and if they want it, they want it, and whatever. Like, that's their problem, for real.
Yeah. Okay, but back to like, so what my book is so like all my friends were asking like what was going on. I got this idea to write these monthly newsletters that were like about my life and what was happening.
Nice. Okay.
So I talked, so basically, and what's weird is like, I'm just a weirdo, but I typed them up on a computer because I love typing because I'm a fast typer as well.
Get it.
And then I would print it out and make a bunch of actual physical copies instead of just sending an email.
That's nice.
I would fold them
fun.
and put them in envelopes, and like
Mail
there was
it
like
to them.
100 people in the beginning,
That's
and
a lot.
I would write 100 and actually buy all the stamps. Like
More
I was
fun
just
than
losing
an email.
everything I've done in my life. I just lose money, but anyway. So
money comes, money goes, they say.
I did it like 5 or 6 different years. It's a long story to explain which years, but I did do it 2010, 2011, 2012.
Wow.
And
an era.
so I went back and edited the first one because I used everybody's like names, and I had to kind of like change, like I kept it the same, but I changed names, and I had to take some stuff out that I was like, ooh, if this person reads it, they are not going to be happy. So I like changed it a little, but it's mostly the same. But it took me a long time because I've never published a book before. I self-published it, but it was like a lot to learn.
That's wild. Absolutely.
And then now I'm editing the second one, which is 2011. My 2011 letters. So I really think you're my target market because you would like very much relate. And it's like a short book, and so it's not like meant for like deep readers who want some like intense novel or something. So
no, I mean,
it's more just
that's
funny.
great. Yeah, the last book I read, well, in this vein, was my friend who worked at American Apparel.
Okay.
In that era, like that heyday, maybe just a couple years before all this. So it was really interesting seeing her work up in the managerial positions and all the drama with all
that's interesting.
that. And
That
it is that era of that. There was just a vibe. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
You know, so it's nice to reflect and just see what we can learn and what we went through.
Yeah. Okay, so that was sort of, but I think my point was like, that the corporate world feels like a nice escape for a while, but then I think if you're really a true like artist who loves performing and being creative, I think after a while you just need an outlet. So what was happening to me was I was trying to do both at the same time, and I think my job was getting stressful on its own, but also I was also taking like 1,000 dance classes a week and trying to live my creative dream at the same time. And I think I just was getting really, I was just kind of killing myself doing all of that. And I remember even my boss was like, don't you just, like, she was like, because I would have these conversations because I would have these breakdowns, and she'd be like, don't, and I mean, I did a good job. They liked me. But she was like, well, is this even what you want to do? Don't you want to like dance? I'm like, do you think I can make money dancing?
Right.
No.
Oh,
like,
no.
I need something
know.
else. So that was kind of hard. That's why I thought I was just going to quit. It was far. I was living in Pasadena, working in Culver City. So, like, I was like, I just need a job that's closer to my house and makes more sense. So I thought that was my answer. But then now I found myself on this creative journey again as an artist. So, and now I'm just doing random jobs here and there, and
I get it.
My money's just running out, and I'm just waiting for a miracle is basically what's happening.
Oh my gosh. I hope it happens. You know what? That's why maybe you'll find the answer through doing all this, because I've definitely related and I feel the same way. And me, myself, even with all my experience and technique and amazing visions, I don't think I've ever been paid for dance except for like once when I was like a background dancer for some indie music video.
Okay.
So, that was a fun memory, but also I've never been paid for dance. So I don't know. I'm grateful that has been my workout. We love to get physical and have mental health with working out, and dance is that. Apparently it burns. I don't know. You're moving. Good. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like I need to be doing more than that, but I love to dance. And, I don't know what I meant by that. It's nice to have a creative outlet, and that's what I've had with dance, Unbound, whatever, LA. So in general, so I've had the same corporate journey as you. I feel like it's just, I've been grateful to have, I don't like to feel confined, I guess. So it's nice that each time it's kind of consistent, but it's also like periodic. So it's like there's times where I'm working intensely, then there's breaks.
Okay.
And that's same with
I
dance.
like that,
there's times
though.
where I'm really intense dancing, and then there's breaks, I guess you could say. So it's just like I'm in this cycle, and I hope that I can do something different to take it to the next level at some point. But until I figure that out, I'm gonna just try to be content where I am, and that's always what we're trying to find in life: our meaning, our purpose, and just where we fit in. So I don't know. I think we're found something good with what we're doing, dancing, and I don't know what's next, but I think you'll figure it out if you just keep going.
Yeah. I mean, what I want, I've taught a few dance classes. I want to teach dance.
Great.
I was teaching beginner jazz, and I want to teach something like that again more.
Wow.
But I'm just like feeling overwhelmed with choreographing for my friend's wedding and then doing this other stuff right now. But once I feel less overwhelmed, I want to start at least doing like pop-ups again or something.
Sure.
So that is a way that I'd like to make a little bit of money. I know that's not lucrative, but and then I obviously like want my podcast to eventually make money, and obviously I want my books to make money, and I have 1,000 books that I'm gonna do. Like,
oh my
this
God,
is the beginning.
your books is my
head.
dances, maybe.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Like,
Good for you.
that's what I would like to end up making money, but for now, I just have to keep like waiting. I just keep praying for all the jobs to come to me, because it seems like the only jobs I get are the ones that come to me. The ones I try to get like don't usually happen.
I feel the same way. I don't know how it is. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but I'm glad that I don't even know. I'm glad that we're trying, and it'll always be there for us, I think we're just dancing, and that's part of what we have to do, is just have fun along the way, because otherwise we're just chasing something each time. So I'm so grateful to have fun every single dance class.
Yeah, I think maybe you found similar to me that like in the beginning when I came here, I really had like a goal. I was here to get that goal.
Sure.
Now there are goals, but like I'm much more enjoying like the journey of it. That's why I did this part of why I did this podcast, Dance Journey, because it's like the journey is important. Because if you're not enjoying the journey, what are you doing? If it's just about like, I just have to achieve this one goal, it's good to have goals, but like like life is the journey.
Exactly.
Like, because then you meet the goal, you're still gonna have to find another goal or something. It's not like
it's
over unless you're dead, so
oh my God. And just every dance, every performance, because that analogy has been used for my dances before. It's like, oh yeah, you love to create a journey. It's all about the journey for you. I mean, I feel like it's all about the performance, but I want it to be a fun journey. Otherwise, that's horrible too. So it's just like,
well, but your performance is a journey, because there's constantly new performances.
Every single thing is a journey.
Okay. We're not going to go on forever.
No
but
problem.
I did want to ask you, because you choreographed for Notchmo.
I did. I think I did it. Yeah, I did at least once.
And
I did. I loved it. It was great.
That's another kind of
Have
space.
You been curious?
I've saw the most recent Notchmo show, but not where you had one.
Was that this year or was it last year? I swear I did a.
I actually don't remember.
I don't either.
The year's going by very fast, so I'm not sure. But
no, when was my alien piece? Because I did Notchmo with an alien piece and with the thoughts of being like, this, I'll use this for Unbound next. But instead, because I'm crazy, I'm like, now I'm making a sequel. So that was that, and that was amazing. But now I'm making another one. I should have just read that. No, it was all perfect. I love that I'm creating so much.
Wait, you are going to make a sequel for Unbound, or you already did?
Well, I mean, I had an alien-themed dance, kind of, for Notchmo. And I was like, I made a sequel to that. So there were 2 alien dances in one year, because Notchmo in January or February, and then that spring show, so it must have been last year, because yeah, that makes sense now.
So that's like another place that choreographers can try to like
absolutely, that's intense,
workshop or like try or
it's
create
crazy.
A piece basically.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. I mean, it's kind of crazy. It's like 1 month to put up a dance. Like, that's a little crazy because I'm so used to this looser timeline of several, but it's kind of nice to just get it up and get it done, and it's low commitment, or maybe high. I don't know. Everybody just, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 rehearsals you can have in a month. I don't know. But so it's thrown together really fast, but it just has to happen faster. It was fun, but it's a little intense too. So.
And then it sounds intense. Have you used your choreographic skills in LA in any other like capacity besides Notchmo and LA Unbound?
Wow. I'm trying to think. I wish. I hope so. I think so. I don't know. I wonder what would be happening recreationally. I think I have a lot of friends. There's been a few birthdays where we learned choreo, but it wasn't for me. What else? Just like for fun, It's for the fun of it all, for sure.
Have you made stuff just for like videos or social media at all, or?
Yeah, you know what? I want to go viral too, Tracy. I'm going to start making more dance videos myself. Like, some of these crazy ideas, I don't have time to put 6 months into. Let me just make a reel and throw it up there and see who cares. Nobody. I'm just kidding. No. But let's see. You know what I mean? So I'm going to try to do more low-key stuff, like high-key, low-key, whatever. But because it is fun, and we're just trying to have a good time and laugh and whatever. We're all just trying to figure out the entertainment world and the market and all these things, and just have fun and have a nice profile and have a nice this, have a nice that. So whatever I can use these mad choreographer skills I have, I'd be happy to do so. But yeah, I need to be more self-starting into these things. I'm inspired by you and making your own podcast and doing this and doing that. I'm just like, whatever comes across my lap, I'm like, cool. So I'll try to be more direct with it, but I love to chill out. I don't want to stress myself out.
Yeah, you don't have to. I mean, you're doing a lot. You don't have to do like 100 other things. But
I've told people before at Unbound, when there's like so many dances, and I'm just like, I just want to play video games. Like, I think I've turned down dances before, being like, I can't do this many or something like it. I don't know. I'm just like, so there's the downtime's important too, because this is a lot, having a career and having a payment job and doing your creative endeavors, and it's like,
yeah, the people that are doing like 6 pieces for LA Unbound,
they're so crazy.
And
I love them.
Some of them have full-time jobs even, and are doing other dance classes or other things.
I love it.
At first I was like, you are so crazy. Now that I mean, I still think that that's crazy, but now that I've done a couple pieces in LA Unbound, I see why it's hard not to do them, because you become friends with everybody.
Yeah,
and you also friends. like you're excited for all their pieces.
Yeah.
And I know
there's some good ideas.
Danielle told me, she's like, yeah, before we had the auditions, I told myself I'm only doing 2 pieces, but then at the end I did 6 because there's too many that I just want to do. And I can see that, because when you see all the little previews, you're like, you just get excited about all of them. But then added another layer of like, now you're friends with all of them. So you're like, I want to hang out with them, or I don't want to like do their piece and not their piece, or like, I
there's some convincing behind the scenes
to say like no to stuff once you're at that point. So good job.
Thank you.
I think it's good that you could say no sometimes to that stuff.
I'll try. I'll do my best.
Okay, I'm just gonna quickly glance over these questions to see if they're. We're not like gonna go
like speed round.
We're not gonna go through them. I just had some specific ones for you, and I want to make sure that there wasn't anything I was like really wanting to know that we didn't talk about.
Yeah.
No problem. Actually, a lot of these I asked you.
Great.
This is one thing I didn't ask you from here.
Sure.
Well, 2 things. Are you doing anything with singing right now?
Let's see. See, here we go. I'm just trying to be ready for whatever's next. First of all, I did 2 vertical shorts this year. That was the biggest acting year for me so far. So I really went hard this year and got burnt out.
Wait, what's a vertical short?
There's just like, I think it's like mini series made for like Snapchat, or for vertical short for people just scrolling on phones. They download apps and watch like 30-second episodes. I don't know. So that was cool to be on set for those. It was kind of crazy. But just because I was thinking. The dance auditions. I did a singing audition for a cruise. I was like, let me try this again. I've done singing auditions for Disney. I've done all Universal auditions. You as a performer, you just cast a wide net, I guess. So, yeah. Singing wise, it was the cruise auditions this year. I've always just tried to make my own music. Actually, since the 2010s, it was so fun with all those party songs. I loved being able to be out in the clubs in those eras with all those club songs. Like, I really love LMFAO and all these people. I don't know, Kesha. So like, I don't know. I love writing lyrics. I'm not a writer for books, but I love writing lyrics. I'm a songwriter. Thank you very much.
Oh.
And I usually do my own stuff. And I even have a song dedicated to Jurassic Park because I've just been such a fan, obviously.
Oh my gosh! Wait, can you give us a couple lines from that one?
Let's see. Super pop raptor, dino rap star, electro hop over the top, bop bop bop, like a cop over the fields through the fields. It was about raptors. I don't know. Sorry.
Was it a rap about raptors?
Sadly, I'm not a rapper, but I'm not a composer. So some of my songs ended up real rappy, for better or for worse, because if it's not a cover, then I don't know how to compose. So any composers out there, I'm ready for you, and I have the lyrics, for real. Finally.
Wow, you spit that rap out pretty fast though. That was good.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been in my mind because of our piece, I guess you could say.
You should have come out after the piece and just done your little spoken word rap, just to a good transition.
I mean, if I weren't crazy enough.
Okay, so yeah, because I think it's cool that you like singing.
I love. Do you sing too?
I used to so I have this voice lessons on the go, and I listen to it in the car sometimes.
Great. Oh,
because
that's my favorite place to sing.
I feel like I want to be prepared. I wouldn't consider myself a singer, but I did choir in high school, and I do enjoy singing, but I really need to train my voice better because it's not very
Let's do some.
It's kind of quiet.
Your voice journey. They have singing classes down here. I'm scared to do them.
I just can't pay for them right now.
I know,
and the other ones I can do in my car, and it's kind of boring because it's the same exact thing every
there's
time.
All those classes online. No, I love it. No, it's any training, any practice. That's great. If you feel good about it, I grew up on karaoke. My mom's from the Philippines. They love karaoke.
Nice. Oh, I know. Oh my gosh, you know what's crazy? So at my church, they have different small groups that you can be a part of.
Awesome.
And I was looking for one that fit in my schedule, and it was every other Friday night. I was like, great, not too much of a commitment. Well, it turned out to be an all Filipino group, and I was all.
They can be
my
into
first
God
night.
too,
My first night there, I was like, "Wait, am I not supposed to be here?" Or and then they were all they loved me, and they were all making jokes it really isn't a Filipino group, but somehow this ended up happening. But you're totally welcome. They had a karaoke night, and oh my gosh,
wow.
It went so long, and they were, Tracy, what songs do you like? Go up there, I had all these videos I was posting during that time because it was so funny.
They can be so encouraging. That's so.
But I'm not.
Wonderful.
I feel like if I'm not actively doing my voice lessons, it's pretty obvious. But when I am actively doing them, I actually I think I can train my voice. But when I'm not committed to it, I don't have a natural if I try to sing something right now, you'd be like, oh.
Well, I mean, it's just a tool. I don't know. There's always go-tos. Just know your voice. Know what's best for you. Everybody knows. I don't know. Karaoke is its own skill. Singing is its own skill. Musical theater is its own skill. There's so many skills for singing using your voice.
Yes.
It's also amazing too. I love it. I love it all. See, I can't stop.
I know that's hard. For a while I couldn't pick what my top style of dance was.
Oh, really?
But now I'm I really like contemporary. But for a while I could not choose between contemporary, hip hop, jazz, tap, and jazz funk. And
I'm so stupid that not really, but you know what I mean. I'm just one time at Unbound, I told this guy who's a really good dancer, I was like, lyrical and contemporary are just the same thing to me, or right?
I used to think it was the same. I didn't know the difference. Did they act like you were dumb?
Well, I'm sure there's a difference, and there is a difference, and can someone define it because it's not me. I don't know that. My style is jazz funk. Apparently, that way you can just do whatever you want, right?
I know. I never really knew what style to call your piece. I was like, I'm in this piece. I think it's hip hop or jazz funk. I don't know.
I just call myself jazz funk.
Or musical theater. That's really funny. Okay, that's really funny because. Even when I was taking contemporary and lyrical classes, I did not understand what the difference between contemporary and lyrical was. Now, this is what this is how I would describe it.
Okay.
And you can correct me in the comments if you want.
I'm ready.
But
they can.
I believe, well, you're not going to correct me because you don't know. You told me you don't know.
Something random.
So yeah, you can tell me what you think. But contemporary, okay, so lyrical generally has more. Well, first of all, it's
words.
You would think it's supposed to be on the lyrics. I think maybe that's part of it, but I actually think it's more they use more technique and more more actual ballet moves where it's like, and now it's an attitude turn, and now it's a whatever kind of leap. Contemporary is more like, and now you move your arm like this.
Okay.
Versus like, and we're going to do like an actual. So in my mind, all the lyrical classes I've taken, it's more like we're doing actual like ballet or jazz-ish moves in a contemporary-ish way. But like we're doing actual like ballet moves.
That works for now.
And contemporary can have actual ballet moves too, but it can also be like whatever you want. That's how I know it, but please correct me if I'm wrong because I also had that question for a long time.
Wow.
And then modern is more like you're like definitely barefoot for the most part, and it's more like very grounded version of contemporary in my mind. Again, these are all just my descriptions. You can correct me. Okay.
That's cool.
I have, I think, one last question, and then this has gone like really long.
Having
but
the
you know,
best
I know you
time.
guys love Paul, so you're going to be happy about this.
I love them back.
So
they know.
Your Instagram is Silver Jolt.
Yeah.
I was just wondering I just don't know what that is, and also your thing says AKA. I literally wrote this down. AKA Zane Silver Bolt.
Yeah.
I would like an explanation of, and the people, and for the people.
I feel like you got a little taste of it. Honestly, that whole rap was from the artiste Zane Silverbolt. Was my music name. I don't know. Things, everybody has a music name, right? Or they used to. I don't know. These days, they're using their real names. That's so brave and boring of them. I'm just kidding. No, that's so brave. You know, my last name, you said at the beginning, Sivertsen, like, it's really hard to pronounce. It's Norwegian. I've never heard it said right my entire life. It's never spelled right. I'm just like, even official documents are like wrong. I'm like, anyway, so I'm just like, here's silver, because people love to add an L to it, and I love the color silver. I think it's my favorite color. It's my favorite.
Silver came from
Power Ranger. Yeah, silver. So there's some Power Ranger homages in there. The Silver Ranger, Silver Space Ranger for Power Rangers of Space. I was a big fan of his bleached ass hair. And his bleached hair and whatever else. But and his attitude. So it's my music name, and Silver Joel is just, I don't know, lightning. I didn't want to make it Silver Bolt. I think one time someone thought I was like a Transformer. I think there's a Transformer, one of those robotic cars that like talk, you know, like Bumblebee. I think one might be Silverbolt. Good for them. That one's my favorite then, I guess. But Silver Joel, I don't even know.
But what's
Instagram was so long ago.
AKA Zane Silverbolt?
Yeah. So AKA Zane Silverbolt. Zane Silverbolt is my music name since MySpace. I know.
Wow, MySpace.
I know. I'm pretty sure.
And
that's where he all started.
They were mostly doing music on there for a while.
Yeah,
right?
I think I had a music page. Where is it? Bring it back. I want to see what I was up to.
It?
I loved the music pages. I loved MySpace. Facebook has taken a turn.
Did you like picking your top 5 friends?
I hated that. I put all music artists so I wouldn't have to deal with that drama.
Perfect. You're like my top
some of them still got mad. Exactly. Britney Spears.
Okay, so that was just a made-up name. It wasn't like from something specific.
Maybe someday I will transform and be them forever, but I don't think so. I don't know. I'm cool with my name and what I'm doing, and I don't even know. I don't know. That's why it's the AKA FKA. I don't even know. I don't know what's going on. Help me. I need a music manager. I need an acting manager.
I felt like it made sense because you're just a creative person, but I was like, but you usually have a story behind something, so I just wanted to know what the story was.
There was like 5 for that one. As usual, it's the dances, I tone it down to make it more specific. This one has... I think I told you all the lore. I don't think I left anything out at this point.
Okay.
Like that color. I like lightning. I like silver. I like.
Awesome. And you're on Facebook. I have not been on. So okay.
Everything, I think.
Okay, I got off social media 10 years ago. It's like, or it was like 12, maybe like 12 years ago at this point.
To be corporate?
No, there's like a lot of different reasons, but also was kind of trying to be off the grid for
I love that.
certain reasons.
I want to be like that sometimes.
And it actually was really nice. I very much enjoyed it, even though I also obviously very much enjoy social media, and I really did before. So before I quit social media, I was on Twitter and Facebook.
Okay.
I had started an Instagram, but I didn't remember that I did. So when I deleted all my social media, I didn't delete it because I forgot that I had it because I never used it.
Yeah.
So actually when I got back on, I only was getting back on Instagram to like watch choreographers' dances to see what classes I wanted to take.
Sure.
And then at some point Instagram made a thing where like you couldn't watch stuff unless you had an account.
Ugh.
And then I was like,
ugh.
And then I was like, okay, now I have to create an account. And I was like, wait a second, I think I have an account. And I looked back and found my account from 10 years ago that was literally the only I had a picture of a Christmas tree, and that was it. And it was Tracy in LA.
Beautiful.
The reason why I was called Tracy in LA was because my letters that I used to write, I would sign every letter, Tracy in LA, January, Tracy in LA, February. And I was like, oh, it's my name still. This is
That's
cute.
so cool.
So I was kind of excited
there.
about it. And then now I'm like crazy on social media. But I'm not. But I didn't go back on Facebook because I didn't want to use my real name, my full name.
I know. That's why I came up with that alter ego part way too. I'm just like,
do
I
you
don't
have
need
your real
people...
name on Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good luck spelling it, everyone.
Oh yeah, it's
Can't find
probably
me.
hard for me
Why?
to
Are you trying to promo
anyways.
it? No, I know.
I'm just curious
because
because now I haven't been on Facebook in so long. I'm like,
it's weird. That
are people actively doing stuff on there?
I don't know. I think it's. I don't want to. People always say boomers, so with like a negative connotation. I think there's a lot of people connecting there on that age. And who else? I don't know. I think a lot of random college people. I'm not sure who's on there. Whoever, why you like it the best, Facebook, good for you. I have family in the Philippines I can talk to on there and stuff like that.
Oh,
so
you know what's funny?
Relatives.
All my Filipino friends from that group are on Facebook.
Well, there you go.
And they're always trying to be like, oh, do you want to get in our I haven't been on it in so long, but they said, something about their Facebook message group or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I just like don't really want to be on Facebook because I didn't want to use my real name. They're like, maybe you can do it without using your real name. And then I kind of tried.
And it's hard.
And it was kind of hard. And I was like, and I don't really like to lie. And I was like, I just don't want to deal with this right now.
You can, maybe don't use Zane Silverbolt, but you can use something.
Well, I'm not in that Filipino group anymore, and I don't really have anyone asking me to be on Facebook anymore. I mean, I'm still friends with them, but I just kind of fine. I don't go to that group anymore.
You don't need to be in that group, honestly. It's
but
fine.
It was also I felt like they just kept trying to speak English because I was there, and I felt bad about it.
Well, yeah, that's what my family ones are like too, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm sure if there's something important that I need to know, they'll tell me.
Yeah. So anyway, okay, that's really it. Is there anything that we didn't talk about that you were like, oh, I hope we get to talk about this?
I don't think so. I just wanted to. I need to catch up on some of your 51 episodes before this, and also just like stuff like that. So I was just going with the flow and answering whatever you wanted. So I hope I did that. I think
you did amazing.
It was so much fun. I love reflecting like this. It's so fun to talk about it.
It was really fun. We just kept going. Wow, this is like a really long one. This could take me a while to edit.
Good luck. I'm so sorry. That's your problem.
It was my fault anyways. I kept it going, but
I love it.
That was so fun. It was fun to take that crazy class. It was fun to ask you a ton of questions. I hope everybody enjoyed it because I know people want to know what's going on in the crazy creative mind of Paul Sivertsen. His last name is Paul. His name is Paul Sivertsen.
It is.
Practice
Watch out.
And we'll
Could that be a famous person's name? We'll find out. We'll see.
It already is.
Oh,
Paul.
whoa!
Like you've choreographed like 1,000 pieces. You're already famous.
I can't believe people were like, I'm a fan of your work, and they said Sivertsen or something. I was like, that's me.
You're like it.
Yeah. So no, but exactly. So I'm so grateful. So thank you for being part of it.
Yay!
And thank you for having me.
Yay! Okay, we're gonna end it for real. But you guys, thank you for being great listeners. If you made it this far, and if you didn't make this far. Okay, we'll talk to you guys next time. Like and subscribe and rate and review. Bye!